Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Theresia, and in today's video I just wanted to talk about studying in Germany, but like really about doing your bachelor's in Germany from my experience, because I still get a lot of questions on Instagram about how do you apply, what is it like, what do I need to know, so that's basically what this video will kind of be about. This is probably the most requested type of video on my channel, so I hope you guys enjoy. Now, I just want to break into this. As it relates to like navigating school when you first start, there is not as much support as I think you might get elsewhere, where I know, there's like a real campus feeling and there's specific groups or bodies that are responsible basically to kind of guide the freshmen and help you and basically tell you like what type of groups you can get involved in and all that stuff, so you really get that university experience. And I think I've mentioned this a few times. From my experience, it's really not like that here. Like, you can go to class, go back home, nobody would have probably noticed that you're there, and yeah, you didn't have to get involved. If you need help on something, you have to specifically go to that person, that teacher, or go to the main office or something and ask, or look online and try to find something. But there is no real structure as it relates to student life, or like, really navigating the university structure really. It's really up to you. There is no community in that sense. I know everybody seems to be like, oh, I want to study in Germany, because the tuition fees are basically non-existent at public universities for the most part. Yes, but there are really pros and cons to everything. Like, I have friends studying in the States, in England, in the Caribbean, and it really does seem that the workload is a lot more intense on a day-to-day basis. For example, in the States, from what I've heard from a very good friend of mine, like really stressed with the amount of assignments from week to week and the class requirements, and you can only miss one class, otherwise you might fail the entire module or something. And there's certain classes, obviously, this is just from my experience going to the LMU, studying history and literature. Studying medicine or engineering will be a completely different thing, I imagine, so I can't really speak to that. But just considering the amount of stress and pressure put on you, from what I've heard in the States, seems to be like, ooh, wow, okay. Going to high school in the Caribbean, or even primary school in the Caribbean, was definitely a lot different from the brief time that I was in primary school here in Germany, for example, with the amount of work that we did as well. So all I want to say is that the workload, from my experience here, has not been really that intensive. Now and again we would have an assignment, and it might be an essay at the end of the term, or like a portfolio where you're supposed to write an essay for each week that you would have met and spoken about a specific topic or read a specific text, and at the end you submit all of these essays together. Or you have a presentation. There might be certain classes that might be a seminar or an exercise group, and every week somebody will present and also give out handouts and basically lead that class. And that's a fair amount of effort and work, but it just, for me, doesn't seem as intensive as I've heard in other countries, which is a plus, I guess. As I mentioned with the application process, basically you can just go online, and online they do have a lot of information as it relates to international students, so you just have to go, you have to look online and really investigate for yourself. There might be certain members of faculty listed who you can contact if you need help, if they're really related to your target program, and just hope that they reply to you. And I remember when I was about to start, I did that, and I did get a response sometimes. But yeah, you can always go to the Studentenkanzlei and they will help you with whatever issues you have. You usually go, you take a number, and in the mornings it is always full, so you're gonna have to wait your turn basically, which is normal. Or if you're an international student, there's the international office, and they handle a variety of different issues. So you can always get help there as it relates to applying and basically begin your university experience. So basically online is how I applied. They there were certain forms that you filled out online and you sent those in, you printed them out as well, and then depending on your last name, there were certain days that you went in for the physical matriculation, for the real application. You just had to take your online filled out application with you, and then you waited in line, and when it was your turn, you went into this room, and then there were actually students who were maybe, you know, a few years ahead conducting this. So you basically went in, you gave them all your documents, whether you did A-levels, you did your SATs, and you had those grades basically recognized. I had my A-level certificates recognized at the local Anerkennungsstelle. Basically, I waited a few weeks and then they sent it back to me based on what I wanted to study, which was in the humanities. And yeah, they gave me a Abitur type of grade, which is the university entrance requirement that you do after like official high school here. And yeah, I just had all my documents together, went in. The girl, she just typed up everything for me, basically looked, you know, compared my ID, all that stuff, and then she gave me like a, you know, an envelope with all my student related information, brochures, and yeah, I got my, sorry, I'm a bit out of breath. I got my student ID card like a few weeks afterwards, and then before you know it, school was about to begin. I heard that from the summer semester this year, they're actually going to start introducing really like hard student ID cards, because before that we just had these flimsy paper IDs that I don't know what they were supposed to do, but yeah, you would literally sign the back of them, have them always with you if you had your student traveling ticket, and then your regular personal, your regular ID to be able to get the benefits of riding on the train and stuff as a student. Are there anything else? What other questions do people tend to ask me? I'm trying to think. Really, it's always about how to apply, but really you just have to, or how, you know, you move from whatever country it is that you're from to move here to be able to study, but you really just have to investigate for yourself, like go to your local embassy, your local German embassy, or you know, look online and see, okay, how do I, an American or as a Indian national, how do I move, how is it possible, how can I do that, and yeah, see what requirements there are. Usually on the website they have a list of them for international students depending on what you want to study, so you have to be very specific and know what it is that you want to study. And of course the majority of courses are going to be in German, unless it's something like English literature, English history, medieval English, whatever, or American history and American literature. Yeah, apart from that, you'll have a lot more options in the masters. They have a lot of English programs in that way. I did an interview with my friend Kia, who studied in Nuremberg, and she did her bachelor's, I think it was in communication, she said, and that was for the most part in English. It was at a technical university. So there are a lot of ways to go about it. Again, you just have to be savvy, go online, look it up, and you have to really, if it's something that you think you really want, go online and look for it. You will find your answer eventually, and if you happen to be on the ground here, go to the school directly and ask them, okay, just tell them, this is my situation, I want to study X. How do I go about it? Because even if you want to study something that might be in German, you will have to go to German classes and then do the test stuff and get your, you know, certificate or whatever to say that you're able to study at a tertiary level in Germany. And there are different, you know, levels to that. There's A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2, and then you do your test stuff, and then you should be, once you pass that, you should be on your way to applying officially for your German language, your German-based university program. I'm not trying to say that, but yeah. So yeah, I think for this video, these are the main things that came up. I think I will think about I'll think about other questions that you guys have posed to me. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions, anything that popped up to you, be sure to write them down in the comments below. Yeah, I will see you in my next video.